And it is some days where it's just like, no, I can't wait 1 second. I need whatever I need you to do. I need it now. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
just like they feel like, oh, well, we're being
selfish.
babies or we being selfish. And it's just like, no. And I feel like that's the hardest thing for me, like through this journey, is like the mental aspect. Like I feel like if it was just, okay, you got to do dialysis, that's just that's fine. But the mental state that I was in, and that I kind of find myself sometimes being in now, but I have like the coping skills to kind of take myself out of it. But it's still very, very hard, you
I
know?
haven't found it yet. Honestly, I haven't found it yet. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a heavy smoker, and like I would smoke, but they say, to get on the transplant list, you have to stop. So I had to. I've been trying to wean myself off of smoking, and it's like a uphill battle dealing with your emotions. Like you feel it's like ever since I found out, it seemed like my emotions has amplified like times 10. Like
Hmm.
I'm more sensitive to a lot more stuff, and I still think I haven't really accepted my reality, and it's like it eats at you. Like sometimes you'll break down and start crying. Like you really feeling like, dang, I'm in this situation. Like I'm real life got myself in this situation that I have to now go to a center 3 times a week or do a treatment once a day, every day for maybe for the rest of my life, or maybe for 5 years, maybe for a year, maybe for 6 months, maybe for 3 months, maybe for a couple of days. You never know when the kidney gonna come up, but who's to know when the kidney's gonna come up?
Exactly. And that's the hard thing. The hard thing for me was the weight. I feel like now the weight is kind of, I'm gonna say it's a blessing and a curse, because it is some days where I be like, dang God, like I've been waiting 5 long years. Like when you gonna send me my kidney? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm young. Like I'm not ready to just be like, okay, I throw in the towel. This is my life now. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be out and be living a thriving life, you know what I'm saying, as the best to my capability. And not to say that people on dialysis don't live a thriving life, it's just that I am in such restraint of like going out and fulfilling the things that I truly want to do, because everything is precautious for me. So it's kind of like I like going out to concerts, right? But when I first started going back to concerts, I was like, yeah, no, it's too many people. Yeah, no, they don't have a mask on and they like right up here to my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if this gonna work out, but I take my measures. I mask up. I strip everything off after I come home and go straight into the shower. I control me to my best capability, and I feel like that is kind of the lesson that I'm learning. Like I can't I can't control a lot of stuff outside of me. So
Yeah.
as long as I know that I'm doing my due diligence and I'm taking control of what I need to control, then whatever else happens is just gonna happen, because that's just life at the end of the day.
I, and then I don't know. I had kind of got kind of discouraged too because they the way they the way the way that a company told me transplant work. like the way they explained it to me, it kind of almost scared me away from transplant. Like, and I get what everybody say. Like, okay, it's gonna help you. It's gonna better your lifespan or whatever. But the way that they explained it, kind of that scared me the first time, and I had to have somebody else explain it to me a better way for me to understand it better. Because the way they put it to me, it was like, well, you're gonna have to come here every day, every other day, every whenever we call to for us to check on the kidney. Then you're going to be on 20 different medications until we find the right 10 medications. And I'm like, well, I'll just stay on. I'll just go get a graph and do hemo. Like, y'all can keep the kidney. So you mean to tell me I got to go through all this stuff and then not to even, if I miss one dose of medicine, I could possibly just lose the kidney. Like, yo, that's kind of crazy that I got them have to go through another surgery. Like, hmm? So it kind
Yeah.
of discouraged me at first. Like, nah, I'm gonna just stay on PD. Then it was like, well, you can't do PD for the rest of your life. And I'm like, well, if I get a kidney and y'all basically telling me you do the wrong thing, you eat the wrong thing, or drink too much of this, you would die. Like, I'm like, what?
Right. And I feel like when it comes to transplant, I feel like they should really try to get like a new team to really, especially like to younger people, because the way I got introduced to transplant is totally different than the way I got reintroduced to transplant at the same hospital. So I'm just like, where were these people at before? Because
You feel
they
me?
explained it way better, and they take that scary factor out of, okay, if you breathe on it wrong, you gonna die. You know what I'm
And,
saying? Like,
and I feel like some doctors purposely do that to be a-holes. Like, not to, like, I feel like some people get off doing stuff like that. Not to, I'm just like, I real life feel like some of them get off doing stuff like that. Like, making you feel worried or trying to make you feel scared. Like, and I feel like if you know somebody going through this like life changing process, why would you make it harder on them by telling them something that's not even something that they really don't have to worry about, but you you make that little thing so big,
mm-hmm.
like you
Yeah.
envelope. They just make it really big, like, and
They
this is going to
amplify it
happen,
for
and
nothing.
this is
And
going
it's
to
like,
happen, and this
right,
is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and you leave the appointment like I left out of the transplant appointment like I told my mama like no lie. I looked at mama. I said I'm gonna just take my chances on dialysis. I said it's no point in me trying to get a surgery, and the way he just said it, the kidney could start working next week, or either start working next year, and then I'm right back in the same predicament, back at
right.
dialysis.
Right. But I mean, it's not, transplant isn't a joke. Like, you got to take care of it. It's like a brand new spanking baby. But
There's ways to explain that.
right, it's ways to and like you said, I feel like they use scare tactics. And my thing is, I have listened to people explain the transplant situation to a young group versus a older group, and the dynamics are totally different. And I'm just like, why is it that different? And not to say grand and papa don't deserve a kidney or a liver or whatever type of transplant that they need, but they is 80 something years old. They don't live their life, you know what I'm saying? And the probability of them even surviving a major surgery like that is slim to none. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, why would y'all choose to be more understanding and more gentile to that demographic than the young people? It's like, oh, well, you put yourself here, and if you do this, this, and this to this new kidney, you're gonna die. Like,
Yeah,
what sense do that make?
yeah. Like even when it's crazy because it's like something that a lot of people don't know how to be supportive or be like kind of like gentle
Mm-hmm.
explaining it. Like my first day of treatment, like I'm sitting in the lobby and my people, my family left out to go get some food to come back, whatever. I'm sitting there and the older guy like, "Oh, you knew?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Oh, well, this don't get no better." I said, "Huh?" He said, he said, "Yeah." He said, "I done had 3 kidneys and yeah, it just don't get no better." I'm like,
Dang.
"Okay, oh, okay." I saw a couple weeks go by, sit in the lobby again, waiting for transportation. Older lady roll up. She say, "Baby, this shit don't get no better." I say, "What is going on?" She's like, "Yeah, wait till you start getting those itching pains and you can't sleep and you can't eat this, you can't drink that." And I'm like, "Yo, chill, like chill. This is my second, third week. Like I ain't even mentally prepared myself for this lady and you scaring me like what's going on?" Like some people just some people just negative about the situation. Yeah, I know it's a bad situation, but I feel like you should try to like not coddle somebody, but at least make them feel comfortable. Like, yeah, you know
Right.
what's
You
about to
gotta,
happen, but
right. And
dang,
I feel like you, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like a year and a half ago, I was coming out of the sunken place, but I was in the sunken place for a long time going through this. But it was kind of like, all right, things could be totally worse. Like, it's other people that's going through this and 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta remind yourself and count your blessings. Like, I have, like, even with me, like, sometimes I just be feeling like, oh my God, like, this again, I gotta go to treatment. Like, I was feeling like that Saturday. I was like, oh, I'm not going. I was late for treatment. I told transportation was calling me, ring, ring, ring. We outside, we outside. I said, I'm not going. And then I hung up the phone and I rolled over in my bed. And then my mama
yeah,
came in my room and she was like, it's like 10:15. I'm like, oh my God. And
like
so I
it
was
don't
dragging my
matter. I'm
feet.
not going. I
Right.
said I'm not going.
I was dragging my feet. I was just like, okay. And then it's just like, I started counting my blessings in the car because I could be going to through dialysis and I could be homeless. I could be going through dialysis and not have none of my limbs. And there are people that have multiple appendages missing and going through dialysis. So it's just like you gotta count your blessings where they come. Like, even if they look small to you, they could be big to somebody else.
Yeah, I used to feel that way. I definitely used to be like, "Yo, leave me alone. I'm not going. Like, don't ask me. I give up. Hey, listen, I'm not going today." Mommy,
Mhm.
she like, well, you like breathing? Yeah. She like, well, when you full of fluid and you can't breathe, what you gonna do? I'm like, all right, let me get my shoes. You right.
Right.
And I'll go get my shoes. But it's just hard. It's like if you gotta you gotta be mentally strong.
Yep, and
Not gonna
that's the
lie.
thing. Like you, like that's the biggest feat. If you can get over that, the mental aspect of this, you'll be okay. And then, like I said, like I think I've gone through my biggest mental hump when it comes to this, but there are still days where I get back into that headspace, and it's okay to be in that headspace. I'm not gonna be like, okay, you just should be happy about this. You know, you should just, you know, be glad that there's a situation to hold you in the meantime, in between time before your transplant. No, because this stuff is sad. This stuff is depressing. This stuff is very mentally draining. But what I am saying is, don't don't dwell in that place. You know, don't dwell in that place of, oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Because I'm telling you, it's not. It's
Yeah. Once you start feeling like that, it's hard to get yourself out of that. Like, cause for me, it was crazy because it was like I already got diabetes, and then it went from diabetes to me being, and for I went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling good. Found out that my kidney, like I found out I had COVID. Then the doctor came back in like, have anybody ever told you your kidneys was failing? I'm like, no. Oh yeah, well we have to do some tests. Went from that to going to dialysis. Then one day, just out the blue, like I just went blind in one of my eyes. Like I couldn't see out of one of my eyes. Went to the eye doctor. I had blood blocking the vision and this eye. So they did a surgery and removed the blood and everything. And I started to see out this eye. Then not even a week later, same thing happened in this eye. So right now, I got full vision out of this eye, but I only got half vision out of this eye. And it
mhm.
just like some days, like for a minute, I was like I couldn't really see out of both eyes, and I would just sit there and I just like it was just hard. Like I would break down, I would just cry because I would if I didn't wear sunglasses or something, my eyes would hurt. Like if I'm around too much light, my eyes hurt. They get the water in, or I couldn't see nothing. Like I went from being an independent guy, like I working on my house. I bought working every day, going to work. I was a store manager, had my own store. Just living life, and
You feel
all
like
that
your
was
world is like crashing down.
it was stripped. I felt like it was stripped from me, like in a
Mhm.
matter of seconds. Like my ability to drive, being in a grocery store, people like brushing past you, or people don't know what's going on with you. Like you can't walk as fast as everybody else, so people like rushing, reaching over you and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
all that stuff playing a part, and then you go home and you just think about it. Like, damn, I was just good a minute ago, and you break down because it's like shit. I'm, I'm 28, 29. I'm still a young man. Like, I still got a lot of life to live. Like, still, it's stuff that I still want to do, and I'm gonna do it, sick or not. you just gotta get yourself in the right headspace, and try to find the light. It's gonna be dark days, but you gotta find the light. Like you just gotta find the light, because if you don't, you will fall in that sunken place. And once you get in that sunken place,
It's
sometimes
hard,
people
it's
don't.
hard to bring yourself out, and then it don't matter if you got a strong team around, because like my family is my rock. But even with my family, it was just like, no, like I like, this is the end for me. Like this, it ain't nothing working out, ain't nothing moving, ain't nothing shaking. Like I'm trying to do my best, I'm trying to hold on, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like I should.
No
So
matter how much support you got, no, you can have 2,000 people in a two-bedroom house, and I'm still gonna feel like I'm by myself.
mhm.
It's I don't know what it is. That's just how you feel.
Yep. So I was gonna ask you that, like, I mean, me and Maya are women. So as a man, how did this really affect you as like a man? Because like as a woman, when I was diagnosed, I was 23, and like that's like during the time like a lot of my friends started like having babies and stuff. And then I was just like thinking like, dang, I might not ever be able to bear my own children. And I just felt like that's kind of like the start of my spiral, because I just felt like I wasn't a woman. But then my mother was like, there are women out here that don't have no health issues, that don't bear children, Kayla. Bearing children doesn't make you a woman. Yes, it's a blessing. But you don't need to bear a child to be a woman. So I I was listening, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you feel like this has taken from, I guess, your manhood?
Mm, honestly, yeah, like it took away from my confidence a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It took away from my confidence. Like it make sometimes like having to ask for the extra help, like me being so independent and used to doing everything for me, like it's hard to ask somebody to do something for me or help me out the bed or help me do this or go get this or like craving like you like you might be craving like sexual things, and it takes away from all that stuff. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel the same. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't feel as confident. Like you don't know if like, all right, I might be doing the doing. All right, now I feel like crap, and I gotta you what? Well, I can't control that.
Right.
Like, there's nothing in the world that you can do to control that. Like, what?
Exactly.
It's nothing I can explain to you. It's nothing I can. It's nothing I can say to you. Like, but it's life. Like, I'm sick. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't even like. I try not to even think about it anymore because I don't want to disappoint myself.
I get it. I get it. Because it's like, you know, I don't know. Men and women think differently, but like for me, I'm my mother's oldest child. So I just felt like, by the time I'm 28 now, by the time I was 25 and I was still going through this, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen to like my lineage? I feel
Yeah.
like if I don't have a child by the time I'm 30, if I don't get a kidney by the time I'm 20 something, and then have a child by the time I'm 30, because I'm a diabetic, so getting older and having children is more high risk. I'm like, what's gonna happen to my legacy? You know?
And that's what I've been saying too. And honestly, I've been talking about adopting, but I feel like it's not the same. But I feel like if it's not gonna happen, then I do want to just I can I can help help another kid that need it. So
Right.
if I
And then
can't have my own, why
right.
not? Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still like do I think it for us is more of a it's coming from me type
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like I I want to experience, like going to the hospital and all that stuff, and stuff like that. It's the experience, Some people don't appreciate it, it angers me sometimes when people don't appreciate like the children because it's like you got people that real life would give whatever to have a kid, but you have kids and don't appreciate it.
Right. And then that's the thing, like she was like, you wanna have the, and that's what I was telling her. I was like, I want the experience of having a baby, of growing a baby inside me. She was like, that 9 months only lasts 9 months. The child and the lifetime of the child, is what matters. So I was kind of like, okay, Miss
Yeah,
Hill.
that too, but it's like I feel like people be wanting us to understand too much. Like
Right. I'm like, I want what I want at the end of the day.
you feel me? You had me. You had to have you had the experience. You had you had your you can tell me about your 9 month experience. I want to be able to tell about my 9 month experience. So
Right.
how you gonna take that from me and tell me, oh well, cut that in half and just go sign some papers
Exactly. I'm
and
like,
go on. You got 9 minutes. Tell the baby in nine
exactly.
minutes story. I'm like, all right, well, I'll tell my baby how I went to go pick you up and
Right.
sign the papers. Yeah. Like every time I do something, mom be like, I was in labor 14 hours. And I told her
Why you
yesterday, I'm
wanna
like,
you wanna be able to have that leverage?
yeah, because yesterday I'm like, Ma, can I tell you something? I say, you tell me this every time about 14 hours. You know what? I didn't ask to be here. She said, so now you just gonna be a smart. I said, I'm just saying, your choices put me here. I didn't put me here.
Exactly. But yeah, you want that mama papa leverage. Like,
I
yo.
just want that experience. I just want like hopefully one day I can get it, but I just want that experience. And then I just be feeling like that's why I'm glad I found somebody that like understand understand that what I go through
Mm,
and help me like I feel like if I had to like try to find a girlfriend right now, if I had to, I feel
mm.
like it'd be the hardest thing in the world.
Man, it's so freaking hard.
Like,
It's like the dating game out there is crappy itself. But when you throw, yeah, I'm trying to date, but also I have an illness, but will you still want to date me? It's hard. And that's
like,
what I was dating, but I don't like having to re-explain myself or re-explain my
man, oh
situation.
my God.
So it's just like, yeah, I just rather shut up and sit in a corner somewhere.
Like, you want to get to know me? All right, let me ask you a couple questions. Like,
Right. Cause
are
I'm
you gonna get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go get me a juice box?
right. Go give me a pack of Gusher.
Like, I don't need you to take me on no trips, none of that fancy stuff. Are you gonna go to the store at 2 o'clock in the morning and get me some fruit snacks? Nope.
Exactly.
Ah, we can't talk.
Exactly.
Like,
Oh
let me ask you
my
another
god.
question then. What do you give a diabetic when they sugar drop? Insulin. Oh, no, 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 we good.
No,
Never mind.
get out of my face right now.
Never mind.
You
You go
gonna
that
kill me.
way.
You
No,
gonna
yeah.
unalive me, sir.
I'm gonna wake up in the upper room. Yeah, no, I'm straight.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to
And
find
then
somebody that's gonna. Yeah, no.
it's like I have found there are people who try to understand, but it's like for me, you gotta give me time to explain
Open up.
my whole right and open up. And it's just
'Cause
like I either find the guys who really just like all right, but don't understand the severity until something happens. And then it's kind of like, why you ain't tell me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I told you I was a diabetic.
or
Like,
no, the person that
what
know
else
it
do you
all,
need? What
or
else do you need, sir?
that person that know it all. Oh, my grandma diabetic.
Right.
Everybody diabetes is not the same.
Right. Or you get the people who want to know every little, like, what is your sugar right now? Like,
Yeah, you
none
overdoing
of your
it.
business.
Like, yeah, you overdoing it. Like, I told you
Right.
this. I told you this is for emergencies, not for you to be Inspector Gadget. You asking too many questions.
Exactly.
Hey, if I need something, I'ma let you know. Not you
Right.
ask. I'ma let you know, and we take it from there. Right now, I don't need you asking all them. What?
Exactly. And I'm just like, I can't find the medium. Like I'm just like, okay, I need you to know this, but I don't need you all up in my Kool-Aid for the time being. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you like you see me and I'm just staring at you, okay, then you gonna know she needs something. Cause
You like,
cause something is wrong, you know?
do I need to keep candy on me? Do I need to? Do you need some candy? You want some? You need some juice? Are you okay? How you feeling? Like that's one
Right.
thing I don't like. Yeah, I'm going through something and I have an illness, but I just I just hate when people are like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Right. It's kind of like they being pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like they waiting for something to go wrong. I don't know because they want to play, you know, Captain Savior or like they want to be on an episode of Grey's Anatomy. I don't know, but it's getting desperate.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm good. Cause that's like, cause I know like in a minute I'm about to have to set up, take my insulin and stuff
Hmm.
in a couple minutes, and I just sometimes I just know like I just know like our generation is not enough mature people to understand somebody with illness. Most people are not aware of illnesses, certain illnesses, unless somebody in their family got it. Some people you be
Hmm.
like, "I'm on dialysis. What's that?"
Hmm.
Or "I got diabetes. What's that?"
Hmm.
Like, "Oh, you don't? Yeah, I never heard of that." Like, what?
Yep, most definitely.
And it's hard trying to like educate people, like, cause you find yourself explaining it over and over again to people, and it just be like, all right, I didn't explain this to 1,000 people. Like, how many times I'm gonna have to explain this to you?
Right. I feel like I need to carry a sign with me and just put it on my back. And you can just
Yeah,
read that. Yeah, but you wanna you know, give some advice to any young person you know, facing this or getting ready to face, dialysis or kidney failure.
Stay strong. Um, every every day is not the same day. It's only gonna be what you make it. Um, if you're having a bad day, try to find somebody or something to keep your mind occupied. Don't lose yourself in feeling sorry for yourself. Um, you just gotta stay strong mentally, and yeah, just you just gotta stay strong. And it's just like much as you want to give up, just always see the brighter picture. Like we still here, and technology is advancing every day, and hopefully they find better alternatives for us.
Yep. And you guys, that's okay because we are not the authors of our life. God is. And as long as you have breath in your body, he's still writing your story. So don't give up. Okay, you guys. Until next time, Lester, thank you for coming on and conversating with me. We hope Maya feels better. And until next time, you guys.
Alrighty.